Hey guys, it's LittleSatyr who has finally understood that I'm actually saying my name wrong after I've heard two people, and not just one Australian, pronouncing it Satyr, and I've understood that hey, this isn't an accent thing. That is actually how you say it. Uh, for those who are new to my channel and who is very confused by that statement, I am not a native English speaker. I actually come from Sweden, so my pronunciations aren't always perfect, especially when it's words that aren't like commonly used or anything like that. So satyr is actually not a word that I hear on a day-to-day basis. Like the first time I heard it be pronounced like that was when I was watching a live streamer over on Twitch, and he actually responded to one of my messages and said satyr, and I'm like, wait, satyr? It's not satyr. Well, it could be his accent. And then I heard someone else the other day who actually said satyr, and I'm like, okay, it's pronounced satyr. It's not satyr. Well, okay, I'll relearn this, I suppose. I can take constructive criticism on my pronunciation. So, yeah. Also, thanks for people, like the few people that actually watch my videos, for not correcting me in time. I'm kidding, it's fine. But, yeah, it's just to relearn. So, yeah, I know I've been gone for quite a while, and that is because several things happened. Like, first, my old laptop kind of hacked itself. I also didn't have a lot of space on that. I still don't have a lot of space on it, but the hinges on the screen actually broke. So I replaced it. It still works. My plan for that is actually to give it to my boyfriend, along with the hard drive that I bought for it that I need parts to actually install. I'm gonna hand that to him, and he will repair it, and because he needs a better laptop, and because it's just sitting there now. Because the one I have now is a lot better. Like I upgraded from a an Acer Aspire V615 up to, is it V6? V something 15, and up to a Predator Helios 300. So I'm like, yes, this laptop is much better. So I don't need the other one anymore. I can't sell a broken laptop, or I could, but I'd rather not. So I'm just gonna take all of the stuff from it, and I'm gonna hand it to my boyfriend, and because he needs one. So yeah, we good. We good. But anyhow, as I was saying, uh, life has been weird. My headset is also dying. I don't know if you can tell, but the audio isn't as loud as it used to be. Like, I'm going to, or hopefully you don't really hear it that much, because I'm going to try to up the volume quite a bit, both in Audacity and in Filmora, so hopefully you'll be able to actually hear what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I am actually redoing the audio now because I had a lot of like like blowing into the microphone, because I need to have it kind of close to my mouth for it to properly pick up what I'm saying. I don't know if it is my laptop that just doesn't agree with the headset, or if the microphone is actually breaking. It's one of the two. Both are very possible. So yeah, I'll try to figure it out one way or another, but as it is now, I'll just have to live with boosting the audio every time I record stuff. Also, speaking of my boyfriend, I went to Norway for a month, so I've been gone. That's where I went. Uh, I haven't at all spoken about the picture yet, but yeah, I've been busy. Very, very busy. So, yeah, I've also not been feeling super great either, but like I'm better now. I'm fine. I'm safe. It's just a lot of stuff happened, and I just got extremely stressed about a lot of different things. I'm still stressed about a lot of things, but it's getting better. I feel better. So, yeah. But anyhow, this picture I'm drawing, because this is what you came here for, not to hear my life story for the past few months. But the picture I'm drawing now is actually a redraw of a picture from 2014. I was looking through my external hard drive to see if I had any like calm, feel good movies on there. because like I barely use that external hard drive anymore. It's like it's full of things, so I only really look through it if there's something on there that I need. So I wasn't 100% aware of what exactly was on there, but I actually found this very old picture that I've never posted anywhere, so I forgot that it existed. And I'm like, hey, this is a good candidate for a redraw. So that is what I'm doing today. I have no clue who this character is whatsoever, because again, like I drew her once and then I just kind of forgot that she existed. And yeah, I think it was one of those pictures that I drew back then, and even then was like, this doesn't look good, and didn't want to show it off anywhere because I can't find it on any of my social media. So yeah, this is the first time you're seeing this picture, I suppose. But yeah, so I don't know if this is a character I'm going to keep, or if it's just going to be one of those characters that I draw once and then just let her sit on a shelf, basically. But we'll see what I end up doing. I do kind of like the design, like compared to a lot of the other designs I made back then, this design is actually not that bad. So I didn't change it much. The only thing I did was like to tone down the blue on the wings, and I toned down, or I actually made the white more pink. So you'll be able to see that later. But yeah, because like just using that neony blue and like straight up white isn't something that I like doing. Excuse me, because nothing is pure white. There's always some kind of like slight color variation to it, and I want to keep on doing that. So since the rest of the fur is like hues of pink, I figured, hey, why not make the white a bit more pink as well, just to keep with the theme, basically. So that's what I did. And I actually do kind of like the result of that. Uh, I'm doing a pretty simple shading style for this as well, because like it wasn't a picture that I was trying to make as like pristine and perfect as I could. So I could have actually gone in and been more detailed with the shading, I suppose. But it was just a silly redraw. The original wasn't even shaded. I just felt the need to shade it now because, well, stress relief art. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that lately, actually. Just like stress relief doodles and art and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty nice, actually. Drawing for stress relief is something that I really need to start doing again, because it used to be like the main thing I did when I was stressed was to like sit down and doodle and stuff, because it just made me feel so much better. But lately I've been so stressed about my art as well that I just kind of stopped doing that. But now when I'm starting to do it again and just like drawing because it's fun, instead of being so strict with myself, like, hey, this has to look perfect. If it doesn't look perfect, it's not good. I have a much more relaxed relationship with art as it is now, I suppose. So, yeah, I really missed having that. And I'm going to try more to draw more for me rather than to try to be absolutely perfect. Like I'm not going to intentionally like make every single mistake in the book, but like I'm still going to try. But I'm not going to be as hard on myself anymore if I do end up making mistakes. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, this is the end of the world. It looks terrible. No, I'm actually going to try more to actually just finish pieces, because like I do still improve every time I draw something. So I yeah, just doing that is something that is actually helping me a lot. Especially now, since I'm also trying my hardest to draw more full bodies, as I mentioned in a previous video of mine, that I need to start doing that. I need to start making like more proper poses. I need to draw more full body pictures, and I need to be like, well, learn anatomy better, because I am actually intending on making a couple comics, or 3 or 5, you know, because like making comics is something I wanted for a very long time, and to be able to achieve that, I can't rely on portraits. You can't make an entire comic. completely out of portraits. You'll never be able to move a story forward with that. So I'm trying my absolute hardest to learn how to draw bodies properly. So the latest 3 pictures I've made have actually not been portraits. And I'm quite pleased with myself. But yeah. So this was a good like practice piece as well, because like drawing feral animals is something that I've never really been good at. So learning how to do that is pretty nice as well. And I've also fully moved on to Paint Tool Sai now. I haven't used Photoshop in like an age. And Sai is actually a program that I can 100% recommend if you want a program that is very reliable and quite simple to use. Like the tools are so much smoother than the version of Photoshop that I was using. And like it does have its limits, yeah, of course, but it's not as limiting as the old version of Photoshop that I used. I have encountered a few issues here and there, but not a whole lot of them. And I think some of it could actually be my tablet acting up as well. I'm not entirely sure. But for the most part, it works like a charm. It's a wonderful program. And now when I've actually figured out how the tools work to some extent, it is actually very nice. I did encounter a glitch during the making of this picture though, and you're going to be seeing that once I get to that point. But that is the only like major issue I've had with this. The other issues I've had, I could just fix them super easy. This issue I could not fix. I had to actually find a way to bypass it rather than to just do something that like magically fixed it. I didn't try to restart the program because I was still recording, but other than that, like yeah, you will be seeing it coming up here in a moment, because like now when I start shading around the face, there is a very tiny speck of white in the corner, like by the eyelash, and I was like, oh wait, that's not supposed to be there. So I went back to the white layer to try to fix that, but it wouldn't erase. When I tried to erase it, it instead erased from the layer above it. I don't know, I must have accidentally clicked something, but it wouldn't let me erase it. Here you can see it erases the shading, and when I swap to another layer, it erased that instead, and it was on that layer. So I couldn't erase anything on that layer for whatever reason, it just erased the layer on top of it. So what I ended up doing, like drawing on it worked, erasing did not. And it was just that layer that didn't work. So what I ended up doing here in the end was that I removed like all of the shading, and I just painted that part pink, which I mean it works, yes, but you shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to erase. This is the first time I've encountered this problem, and it's weird that it was only on one specific layer and one specific tool. I must have accidentally clicked something, but I can't for the life of me figure out what that could have been, because the eraser worked on everything else, and I mean it was erasing the layer above it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I did, but yeah, that happened, and it's annoying. But yeah, other than that, this program has been nothing but good to me. Yeah, especially considering like the version of Photoshop that I was using was Photoshop CS3, which is a very, very outdated version of Photoshop that I actually, oh here I had to paint another spot pink, because erasing it wouldn't work. But yeah, I had been using that same version of Photoshop since 2007, I believe, possibly 2008, but that was the program that I used up until people started saying, hey, Paint Tool Sai is pretty good. Like, I did use Fire Alpaca for a while in between there, but for the most part, I was just using Photoshop. And then a couple of my friends, Matsucker and Buxby Arts on Twitter, they actually use Paint Tool Sai, and they told me that it is a good program. So I'm like, maybe I'll give it a go then. So I actually ended up buying it, and it's one of the best purchases I've ever made. This video is not sponsored by Paint Tool Sai, by the way. I just like telling people about stuff that I am happy with. So yeah, Paint Tool Sai, very nice program, and I'm very, very glad that I abandoned Photoshop for it. The only thing I'm missing with Sai is that you can't animate, which is something that you could do on Photoshop. So I did reinstall Photoshop for the sake of saving GIFs. Uh, so yeah, we'll see if I ever figure out another way. But for now, Photoshop works. Oh, excuse me. If it's a program I have, why not use it? So yeah, but I only use it for that. Art on Paint Tool is so much nicer because fucking line smoothing, line correction, that is something that the newer versions of Photoshop have, but you need to pay a subscription fee every month on that. I already have Spotify, World of Warcraft, and Netflix. I don't need another humongous like freaking fee on top of that. Because this isn't a little money either, if I'm not mistaken. But it is still like, no, no, I don't want to pay a fee every month for an art program. I'd rather have a one-time payment thing. So, yeah, that's yeah. That's why I never upgraded to a newer version of Photoshop and just stuck to Paint Tool Sai now. But yeah, basically, I I'm just rambling on, as you can probably tell. I don't really know what else to do because this isn't scripted. This is just a feel good video where I'm just redrawing art, just being very chill about it, just kind of existing, I guess. So yeah, I really do like this style of video though, where I'm just like sitting and talking. I think I will actually start doing these more often. But yeah, for now, this is I'm at the end of the speed paint now, so um, I guess I'll just close out for now. Here is the original picture again from 2014, and here we have the new version which I finished today. And even though the new version isn't perfect by any means, like I see mistakes on it. I see a lot of things that I wished that I had done differently and spotted before I finished it, but the improvement is still huge. I might at some point actually redraw this picture again, like in a year or so, and just see how much I have improved in between there. So yeah, I might end up doing that because this actually does give me more, like, it encourages me to keep on going, because I can see that I have improved, and even though I feel that I haven't, I can still look back at this and say, hey, you drew like that 5 years ago. This is how your art looks now. So I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I will probably look back at this in a year and I'll think, that doesn't look very good. I can do better. But that is why I keep doing this, because it is encouraging me. And I recommend that you guys do this as well. I know this is the end of the video. You've been staring for on the same picture for quite a while now, but just try that. If you ever feel stuck with your art and you feel like you're not improving, redraw one of your pictures. I can almost guarantee that you're going to feel better about it. You're going to see the improvements and you're going to feel better. And remember, there is no shame in improving slower than other people. It's fine. It's perfectly fine to learn slower than other people. It's okay. I'm a pretty slow learner myself, so don't beat yourself up over it. But yeah, that was all I had to say really. I shouldn't be talking too much on top of one more picture or on top of one singular picture for too long, but thank you guys for stopping by, and I hope you'll come back and watch other of my videos. If you want to see more, then my social media are linked down in the description. Be like feel free to follow me there. Feel free to like message me there if you want to. I mean, like, I'm cool with talking to people as long as you're nice and not being weird. I'm pretty cool with talking to people. So yeah. um, but yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys later, and yeah, take care.